Good morning, John. That's right. Microsoft at this hour is announcing what it's calling a new universal app store, which will create what the company says is a seamless experience for users on all different kinds of devices and platforms, from the Xbox to all the other different options that Microsoft offers. This, of course, in the wake of the acquisition announcement of Activision Blizzard. That is a $68 billion acquisition. It will be the biggest check that Microsoft has ever written. And I just sat down with Brad Smith, the president of the company, to get a sense of what this new universal app store is going to be all about. Here's what he said.
We're focused at Microsoft on our acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We'll have more first-party titles. But what we're really focused on doing as well is creating what we call a new universal app store, an app store that will enable any gamer on any device to access and download and use any app. So it would work for mobile, it would work on consoles, it would work on PCs. It will, I think, really bring new opportunities to people who create games and people who play them.
Now, the company is also releasing a list of what it calls 11 App Store principles. These are going to be up on Microsoft's website later today that describe exactly how the company is going to handle the App Store and the promises that it's making to its competitors and to developers. The company is saying, for example, that it won't use proprietary data that's non-public in terms of competing with other developers who are developing apps that will be sold on its App Store. Brad Smith told me in our exclusive conversation just now that a lot of this is designed to get around regulators' concerns about the company getting to be too big. He says they're designing a lot of their approach here with Washington in mind. Take a listen.
This has to be approved by regulators in 17 countries. I think they rightly will ask us as this process begins, how are we going to run this business? How are we going to live up to the responsibilities we will have? And I think if there's one thing we've learned from 25 years of regulatory experience, it's the right kind of mindset that we hope to bring to this. Namely, we want to adapt to regulation rather than fight against it.
John, I also asked Brad Smith about the acquisition of Activision. You know, that is a company that has had a tumultuous history with sexual harassment allegations, employee dissent, and the like. He said that the company is going to be under scrutiny between now and the time this deal closes, and that Microsoft is really depending on the current leadership at Activision in order to live up to the commitments that they've made on the culture front as that acquisition goes forward. I also asked him about those rumors, John, yesterday that Microsoft might be interested in acquiring Mandiant. He said he wasn't going to comment. He wouldn't even give me a head nod. He said, I'm going to keep my head totally still here and not answer that question. So no indication from Microsoft of whether they are going to buy Mandiant, the cybersecurity company.
Brad is very good at that. I also like the way he phrased that 25 years of regulatory experience. Isn't that a turn of phrase for what
regulatory experience
Microsoft has been through? I want to ask about your understanding of this universal app store, because it strikes me as being potentially the anti-Apple app store in this way. It sounds like it's not just for Microsoft platforms, for Windows, for Xbox, etc., but Microsoft's pitch would be, hey, this is available on Android, and perhaps eventually this is available on iOS devices as an app store alternative to download our software. Am I understanding that correctly?
That is the vision that they're talking about this morning, is a universal app store that could go on all these different devices. So even this Apple product that I'm holding in my hand, potentially down the line. A lot of this hasn't been worked out yet. They're talking about the deals that they're going to have to work out with Sony, for example, in terms of some of the products that Activision offers and that Microsoft will offer in the future. So we don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet, but it does seem like they're trying to be all things to all people here, and we'll see how successful that approach is going to be, John.